Binotto out. Replacement already known? It finally happened. Binotto has stepped down from his role as team principal of Ferrari, and now the team needs to find a replacement in the following days, given the fact that the season starts in less than 100 days. When it comes to replacing Binotto, there are a few names being floated around, but only one can hold the title of Ferrari team principal. So, who is going to sit in Binotto's hot chair? 2022 was a season that was filled with both happiness and bitterness for Ferrari, especially for Binotto. After the first 3 races, the team has shown that it's capable of winning races, as Leclerc won the first 2 out of 3 races for the Maranello team. On both of these occasions, Verstappen retired, which left Leclerc with a dominant lead of 46 points. But not many would have guessed that Leclerc's penultimate win would be in Australia, which was the 3rd race of the season. Leclerc won only one more race in Austria, and Sainz won one as well in Silverstone, ensuring that Ferrari will be the laughingstock of F1 for the foreseeable future. Weekend after weekend, they've been able to embarrass themselves with the tactics and the shot calling, something that Binotto was hardly responsible for. However, Leclerc and Binotto weren't on speaking terms ever since Silverstone, where Leclerc was supposed to capitalize on a bad race from Verstappen, with the Dutchman finishing P7. Instead of winning the race, Leclerc finished 4th because his team refused to pit him during the safety car period, while the 3 drivers ahead of him all pitted for new tyres. That is why Leclerc was left as a sitting duck ahead, being passed by Sainz, Perez and Hamilton, and he had to satisfy with P4 in the end. This was the race in which the infamous photo of Leclerc being schooled by Binotto to avoid discussing the incident in the media resurfaced on the internet. Obviously, if your star driver is dissatisfied with the current state of affairs in your team, you must make changes that are geared towards him. If he doesn't get along with the team principal, you are risking losing the driver at the end of his contract, which in Leclerc's case is in 2024. Now that the team has finally showcased some potential to win championships, with much better management and reliability, of course it's obvious that changes were needed on a structural level. However, sacking your team principal, and your team principal only, has never proven to be the right thing. Still, this is something that Ferrari has done, and if they aren't going forward with this revolution and replacing all of the shot callers and tacticians, they are in for a huge surprise in 2023. Obviously, nothing much is going to change if the same people who did the strategies back in 2022 are going to do them from 2023 onward, as the team principal doesn't have a huge say in this matter. Binotto spoke about his resignation from Ferrari, saying that he leaves a team that he very much likes, and that he believes the team is now ready to win championships. Although he's achieved what was asked of him, which was to return the team to winning ways in 2022, the fact that he wasn't able to withstand the championship pressure on his shoulders speaks enough about his management skills. When talking about his resignation, Binotto added, "With the regret that this entails, I have decided to conclude my collaboration with Ferrari. I am leaving a company that I love, which I have been part of for 28 years, with the serenity that comes from the conviction that I have made every effort to achieve the objectives set. I leave a united and growing team, a strong team, ready, I'm sure, to achieve the highest goals, to which I wish all the best for the future. I think it is right to take this step at this time, as hard as this decision has been for me. I would like to thank all the people at the Gestione Sportiva who have shared this journey with me, made up of difficulties but also of great satisfaction." Ferrari accepted his resignation and was really grateful that they had an engineer and a guy like Binotto to work for them for the previous 28 years, with him spending the last 3 seasons as a team principal. However, a huge challenge lies ahead of them, and that challenge is Binotto's replacement. Who is the proper guy for this job? According to Sky F1, the guy who will replace Binotto is Frédéric Vasseur. Vasseur is currently the team principal of Alfa Romeo, the team that he led when Leclerc debuted in F1 in 2018. Frédéric had a lot of influence on Leclerc's debut season, and if it hadn't been for him, rest assured that he wouldn't have had such a great season. And on top of that, Frédéric and Nicolas Todt, the manager of Leclerc, are very close friends. If Ferrari listened to Leclerc when it came to sacking the current team principal, why wouldn't they listen when it came to bringing in a new one? According to Sky F1, more precisely Craig Slater, Ferrari is currently working on a deal with Vasseur, and an official announcement should be made in the upcoming days. days. When talking about this matter, Slater said, "My understanding is the new boss will be Fred Vasseur, who is currently boss of the Alfa Romeo team. I think that's the kind of individual Ferrari want. Still, there are some other names in the mix, such as the former team principal of Ferrari, Maurizio Arrivabene. Maurizio has stepped down from this role in 2019 after leading the team for 3 years from 2016 onward and accepting a role as chief executive officer at Juventus FC. Still, there is a scandal that's raging with this Italian club, and now it seems like Maurizio will be in the mix of people who are going to replace Binotto." Sky F1 went to the extent of saying that the situation that's currently ongoing in Juventus FC has been facilitated by John Elkann, who is the chairman of Ferrari, due to the fact that he desperately wants to see Arrivabene back in Ferrari. Under his command, Ferrari came close to winning the championship in 2018. However, reliability issues played their part in Vettel and Ferrari's fate, and now that the team has yet another chance to win races and championships, Arrivabene would be the perfect guy for this role. Slater spoke about the situation between Ferrari and Juventus, adding, "These changes at Juventus you have to assume have been rubber-stamped by John Elkann. They are not linked, and there is no sense of any financial wrongdoing at Ferrari. But it is worth noting the crossover of staff at executive level you have between Juventus and Ferrari. The current chief executive of Juventus, who is on his way out but will stay there in a caretaker role to transition of the appointment of the new board, is Maurizio Arrivabene, who was Binotto's predecessor as a team principal. There are a couple of other names that are being considered as replacements for Binotto, such as Franz Tost and Andreas Seidel. Both of these team principals' teams are not in a good place as we speak, with AlphaTauri finishing 9th and McLaren finishing 5th in the Constructors' Championship. Therefore, Ferrari thought that they should offer some of them a chance to try and rebuild a dysfunctional team that can win races with the right command. However, Seidel and Tost both denied the offer and are now looking to bring their respective teams back to success. The media has connected Ross Brawn with Ferrari. However, the former principal of Brawn GP has retired from his role of managing teams and said that he won't come back under any circumstances, although he is flattered by the offer made by Ferrari. "I'd moved away from wanting to be part of a team. I decided I'd done enough of that. This was the only thing that could have possibly appealed. Now is the right time for me to retire." Now, one couldn't help but wonder whether all of Ferrari's solutions will simply vanish into thin air now that Binotto will be replaced by another guy. Obviously, it's not that easy, and the team principal isn't responsible for everything that goes on in the team. True, he has the biggest responsibility with the team and is responsible for the general performance of the car. However, Binotto was a very experienced engineer that wasn't to be messed with when it came to general knowledge, which is why many have asked the question, did Ferrari make a mistake by letting him go? Time will tell, and now that Leclerc has received what he secretly wanted, it's up to us to see how the Monegasque will perform with Ferrari from 2023 onward. What are your thoughts on Binotto's decision to resign from his position as team principal? More precisely, what do you think about his replacement? Let us know in the comments below.